Welcome back to more of Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle 4. We are starting off in World 10, and this is the laboratory, I guess, of the castle. And there are all sorts of weird stuff here. There's these weird machines in the background. They don't really do anything, but they are just part of a little background convenience. The most important gimmick you're gonna have to worry about in World 10 is the teleporters, but we're not gonna get to that for a while. Instead, there are gonna be a lot of pipes in these first two levels, and really that's one of the things you have to worry about in this world, is that a lot of the stages are going to be really big, and also there are going to be a lot of places where you can only go there in one particular way. There's only one particular way to get to a door, and here I have to let Gossamer run down here, but instead he decides not to cooperate as usual, so I have to go back up. And those red things are your trampolines for this world, just in case you wanted to know. I mean, just in case you didn't already see it. But yeah, we just came off of a pretty big snowstorm here in the northeast, so recording wasn't exactly as consistent as I hoped it would be. I mean, the biggest problem I had was I actually wanted to do a mass recording session on Friday, but then it turns out the power was too unstable, so I did not get as much done as I wanted to. But at least I did get plenty done on Saturday, so I actually have I have all of World 10 recorded, so hopefully I get those out at a quicker rate, because I actually do want to finish this series at some point and get to another game. Anyway, now that Gossamer finally followed me, I have to wait for him and then take the pipe. And that's one thing that is going to happen a lot in this world, is that there are going to be a lot of long pipe rides, and you do have to be thorough about checking where each and every pipe goes, because it is pretty easy to not only get lost, but it is pretty easy to put yourself in a bad spot in the later levels. And right here, they don't really punish you that much for taking the wrong pipe, since there are plenty of alternate pathways to get to where you need to go. But yeah, since from World 10 onwards, all the stages, or all the worlds, are going to be 8 levels now instead of 6. So I think what I'm going to do is just break them up into 3s. And we are actually getting close to the end of this game, believe it or not, so I think I'll probably just record 3 levels at a time from here on out. Or I mean, commentate over 3 levels at a time, and then just upload accordingly. And ghosts are also going to be really annoying in this stage, because they can teleport into the same vertical area that you are, or the same level that you are. And they can actually be really annoying when you're trying to either get away from Gossamers or get to another area in the place, but then a ghost ends up blocking your path. And sometimes, if you do try and use weapons on them, sometimes they do teleport away from the weapons. And they not only teleport away from the weapons, they just go away from where you need them to go. Or they just don't go where you want them to. I think that's a better way of describing it. But yeah, also in this stage you are going to end up getting a lot of individual carrots. And that is actually something that is going to be pretty convenient in this world, is that you are going to be getting invincibility quite a bit in this place. And just like a basic cliche of all the other horror movie castles, there just always has to be a research lab. Which then begs the question, if it wasn't a mad scientist living here, just what exactly are they trying to research? I don't know, I guess with the addition of different technology here, you would think that there was a certain way that these teleporters would get out, but well, who knows. It is a video game after all, and I'm putting way too much thought into this. Anyway, what I'm doing here is just taking the pipe up, and what I have to do is just get to a bunch of doors that are really long pipe lengths apart, and that is actually something that made this world pretty difficult to record. It's just the fact that a lot of the levels actually took a really long time to complete. And what did make it tough is that there was some fat that I had to cut out, like whether or not it was lengthy pipe rides or lengthy backtracking or whatever it was. Either way, some of the levels actually do take a long time, just because a lot of the keys are spread out so far apart. And let's see, I think this might be number 7. Yep, turned out it's number 7. See, to get to number 8, I actually had to go all the way back left and then up. So let's just go ahead and take care of that. And, say, fortunately, not too many things ended up going on in the wake of this snowstorm, because a lot of us were actually shut inside our houses. I mean, we actually, fortunately didn't lose power for very long, but I mean, there are a lot of other people who did, and I don't know, hopefully they're okay, or hopefully they're doing alright right now. Don't really think there has been much of a death count for this one, or hopefully there's not. But with that, all said, it is starting to melt now, and unfortunately it's all turning into ice. So that's even more fun to deal with. But with that, let's just get to the exit here. And all the way up here. And that's the end of stage 1. I really don't find the 10th world to be as difficult, but I do find it kinda tedious. And in 10-2, they actually reintroduced the lifts that were in the 3rd game. And what makes these things a little bit more annoying is that the intervals between, like, when they lift, or when they go from the ground to where you need them to go, is kind of sporadic. It's pretty difficult to tell when you have to wait for one, and it's pretty difficult to tell when one's gonna show up. I mean, I still haven't figured that out yet, but this is only the first stage they introduce them in. And what you have to do with these lifts is that you have to ride them into particular spots, because more often than not, the only place to get to, or the only way to get to an important place is by using the lift. And right there I just picked up the pickaxe, and that's gonna make things easier. Fortunately, though, you can't get crushed by any of the lifts going up to the ceiling. Which is a good thing, because, well, that would really suck if you could. But then again, this is a game about a cartoon character. So instead, let's just go back down here. And see, here's another one with 1 carrot and 1 fake treasure chest. No, wait, actually it's 3. Actually, I haven't seen one of those in a while. So let's just take out whoever I can. And that is something that does happen very often in this recording session, is that whenever I ended up getting invincibility, I ended up going way out of my way to take out whoever I could. I mean, that's just really what I had to do just to survive. And at this point in the game, that's really all it's about. And right here, I finally get my first key. And, see, what I have to do is just, sweep the rest of the area by going all the way to the right. So now that, we're just getting a bunch of individual carrots, and that's kinda how the game likes to tease you at, this point in the game. Alright, well, now that that's taken care of, let's just go ahead and get some more stuff, mainly the hammer. You need to... Or there are going to be breakable blocks. I think there's only like 1 in this stage, but it's actually hiding a key. So right here, I just need to wait for the lift. And this is what I was talking about when I meant sporadic, is that you can never tell when the, or when something's going to come up and when something's not going to. Like right here, I had to wait way too long for it. But fortunately, enemies don't go onto the lift with you, like they did in the 3rd one, because that was actually a really big problem in the 3rd one. But I was able to overcome it, and in this game they're actually a lot easier to deal with. It's just that because of how unpredictable they are, they just can get a little bit annoying. And here you need to use the trampoline in order to get to some of the doors. And, Yeah, that's pretty much the thing with this world, that you're going to be using a lot of trampolines, and I think what makes this world so, or what made World 10 so tedious to me is just how I had to just backtrack over and over again just to get the stuff I needed to get to. And that's really the only problem I had with World 10. Even though, as I've said over and over again, World 4 was actually my least favorite one in the game. But I mean, World 10 actually hasn't been that bad so far. I guess probably because of the way I was recording back then. That just made it a lot less convenient. Then moving on, we finally have 5 keys. And the way you are going to have to use the balloon bombs in this one is that you either have to wait for the customers to show up and then just plant balloon bombs where they're going. And then that way they'll just run into it. And I actually think I'm going to do that right here. Or at least I'm going to try to do that. I don't really think he bit either. And this is also one thing that can really become a problem, is that when you're on the conveyor belts, the customers can go way faster than you, and they can catch you by surprise, like that one almost did to me right there. And that's just me checking where I'm supposed to go. And that's the thing with the constant looping and the really convoluted paths that these pipes go through. You really do have to be thorough in your using the pause function just to check where these go, because it is really easy to screw up where they're going, and it is also pretty easy to screw up and land right on top of an enemy. And right there, I was supposed to take the pipe down, and I did not, and I ended up having to waste a lot of time backtracking. So right here, what I'm doing is just trying to use the different pipes in order to get to different places. See, I think I need to go right. And I think that was just me jump cutting through another paused look around. Which is something I did do a lot, and you really do have to do that in this world. Especially since it's, as I've said before, way too easy to get lost. Given how big this place is. But now that I've gotten 7 down, what I need to do is just take that pipe like I was supposed to. And, let's see, right here I think is actually going to be a weapon. But instead, what I have to do is go to the right and then get to the last key that way. So let's just go ahead and take care of that. And I think, yeah, I decided to speed these up just because, it does get a little tedious just going to the exit, and you guys already know where it is anyway. I'm sure you already saw it on the way. So now for 10-3, and this one starts off kind of fast with a ghost. And right out of the gates there is a weight you can use against it. Even though it is kind of random whether or not you actually hit the ghost. Because first thing you have to do is wait for him to teleport down. And then sometimes, I know this happened to me plenty of times during the practice run where he teleported right before the weight landed on him. And that was just, you know, the game trolling me at that point. But here I need to use the pipes and use the ladders to fake out the gossamers. Because that is something you are going to have to do a lot in this stage, is use whatever alternate pathways and fake out as many gossamers as you can. And, see, what I need to do here is use the trampoline. You can go up that pipe if you want, just by holding up, because when that happens, Bugs catches onto the pipe. Don't ask how it works, it's cartoon physics. So anyway, what's gonna happen here is, I am gonna end up using a lot of trampolines and pipes. And, this is actually the first stage where they introduce teleporters. And, you'll see them soon enough. And teleporters work the same as the warps in the previous game. Or in the previous games, I should say. Anyway, let's just take care of these guys. And I'm just waiting for him to drop on down to his doom. But anyway, that red thing with the lightning, that was the teleporter. So you do have to use that to get to different places. And later on it is going to be pretty confusing to keep track of where all the teleporters go. But at the end of the day, they're actually really not that bad to deal with. And the biggest thing with the teleporters is you are going to need to use them to get to essential keys as well as get to the exit. So let's just keep going here. And this is where they keep doing that with one fake treasure chest and one carrot. So I think what I'm doing here is just cleaning up the rest of these doors. And fortunately, cleaning up the doors wasn't too tough now that I was able to take out a few extra enemies. So at least I made things a little bit easier. Here I realize I'm supposed to go up further and just do more damage that way. So what I need to do here is just go even further away and not get hit like that. I almost said hilled. Somehow combined hit and killed. Anyway, I was also kind of getting sick of the long pipe ride, so I just sped them up for whatever reason. Then again, as I've said before, I kind of do want to get this out quickly since I kind of want to get this series over with at some point in time. And I think that's like the third time I've said that. Yeah, that's the problem with commentating over a game like this, is that eventually you start repeating yourself, and I think all of you guys know I've already done that more than enough times in this series. Which then begs the question, it's actually pretty easy to see in hindsight why nobody's ever LP'd this game, let alone commentated over it. I think there was one guy on Game Anyone who was almost done, but I don't think he ever finished the fourth one. And I think he might have, or he has walkthroughs for all the other Crazy Castle games. But I mean, unfortunately, things probably happened, and for whatever reason, he just wasn't able to finish the fourth one. But here, all I have to do is just blast this Gossamer. And that's one of the reasons why I do save the weapons, is that you never realize who you're gonna run into when. So I just decided to use one there, and it did pay off for me since he was chasing me down. And here I need to use the pickaxe in order to get to one of the other teleporters. It is actually nice to trap the Gossamer there while you can. And unfortunately, this is one other thing that took a while, is getting the ghost out of the way. And since I was down to 2 hearts, I did not really feel like running through them and taking another hit, because I just did not feel like putting myself in a position where one hit would kill me. Instead, what I have to do is drop down here to get to another key. And now we're up to 5. So what I need to do is just clear out the remaining area, and a lot of that involves backtracking to places I've already been to but didn't bother to open the doors. And you know, part of the reason was because I had 10 carrots and was invincible, so I decided to take out anyone I could. But unfortunately, that just left me with some other things to do. So here I'm just gonna use the teleporter, see where it goes. And it turns out I actually had to use the one in the middle to get to another key. And I think the last key is actually going to be in that teleporter next to it. So what I have to do is just finish this stuff off. It actually isn't too tough once you get the concepts of this place down. So let's just head on, get this last key, and head on over to the exit. You do have to use the teleporters to get there, but it's not too bad. But with that, I will see you in the next part.